During Hurricane Florence in 2018, there was a very generous radio station. And Peter's always so joyful when we get donations of any type, but it arrived. And to unload a truck with that much food was just a little bit overwhelming. I heard that Peter had an idea to call the fire department and see if there were any trainees that could come over. That memory sort of embodies Peter. He always found a way.
There's something really special about the moment when Peter's generally stoic face breaks into a big smile and you know you've gotten to him.
I appreciated traveling with Peter. I appreciated talking to him about jazz, books, talking to him about living in London and growing up.
What I had to remind Peter of, though, a lot of times was, I need to eat lunch. Because Peter, he would just go straight through all day and not even think about lunch. So it's like, Peter, we got to stop somewhere.
Peter's greatest contributions to the organization, they're related to the way Peter's created an environment for leaders to grow. Those leaders have gone out into the network and helped other food banks and other communities across the nation.
Working along the staff, it was really interesting because it felt like I was working with a whole bunch of Peter minis. The best ideas from our strategic plan came from the staff, and I think that's indicative of Peter's leadership. The staff is always thinking about how do we serve our community better, and they felt comfortable enough to let those ideas surface and felt like their voice would be heard.
In 1999, Peter developed what we call the Fair Share. It is a food distribution methodology that he created shortly after Hurricane Floyd. We look at all the food insecure individuals across our 34 counties.
Each county was able to get their fair share, and working with the agencies to make sure that they received the food and they distributed that food in a fair way.
One thing that the food bank is doing currently, we're on a journey for equity, diversity, and inclusion, and everything we do is actually part of our strategic plan. And Peter was one of the folks who was instrumental in making sure that EDI was a focus brought to the food bank. We also have some committees at the food bank that look at EDI through different lenses. One of them is the Leon Committee. That's the Latinx Empowerment Outreach Network. Some of the things we've done through the committee is making sure that we have a lot more things translated than we have in the past.
The next thing we'll be looking at is the system work of ending hunger. How do we partner with those people to really impact the root causes of hunger? I'm excited about our work with partners around the region to really impact ending hunger for the long term.
We can't do this work without their help. We have the big trucks, we have the warehouses, but we don't have enough staff to go out and do distributions to individuals who are affected by disasters. So having the partner agencies really prepared for a disaster.
We're set up or are in the process of setting ourselves up for, additional expansion. Wilmington will go from a 10,000 square foot warehouse with no height and no racking to a 31,000 square foot warehouse where we can stack 4 high. The pop-up market and having some of that kind of disaster support help feels really good. So I think we're, set up for whatever the crazy world wants to throw at us.
Peter, I know that the time had to come for you to retire. I sure hope I get to come out there and give you a big hug to say thank you for all that you've done.